What a wonderful opportunity for the mosques and temples and the gurdwaras and the Christian churches of Number 5 Road, the different communities, if the Sikh and the Buddhist and the Muslim and the Christian community could come together and all the faith communities and find ways to sit down at the same table, enjoy each other's food, and talk about what we have in common, what we want to do together, and maybe even probe in those areas where we differ and how we can differ peacefully and with good relationship.
Masjid is there, the mosque is there, the Hindu temple is there, the Buddhist temple is there, the church is there, and Sikh Gurdwara is there. We are living in the world where diversity is not the option, it is the reality, and we have to live together, work together, and progress together. We cannot think in terms of isolation.
Our church is called Peace Mennonite Church. As Mennonites, we believe that it's always important for us to find creative ways to solve conflict non-violently.
From this center, as well as from the Sikh religion and Sikh community, I would like to repeat the same message in the name of Nanak. We wish good, wellness, and prosperity to the whole mankind.
I think all people want to live in peace. I think all good religious and spiritual people, moral people, understand that violence breeds violence. Since we're in an interconnected world, it is like hurting your family.
If God wanted us to look alike, all of us, if He wanted us to be of the same creed or the same faith, He would have done that, but He didn't. He gave us the freedom to choose our religion. He made us into different colors and different tongues so that we know one another.
Inside we are interconnected. The moment we start realizing this interconnectedness, see all the other differences, the physical differences, the worldly differences, they will be dissolved. And that is the message of our Hindu scripture.
I think this is good time to meet each other and to build a bridge between our hearts and to show our love to each other.
Here in Richmond, with the vastly different cultures and religious backgrounds, we have this wonderful opportunity to really express the love of God to people who are not like me.
And
maybe.
This is a wonderful example, the Number 5 Road of Richmond, where all these religions are there, the centers are there, and they are working together.
Multicultural society here, and we're so close. We get a lot of followers coming in here from other churches or temples or mosques, and they want to understand about what we do. And
it's just that I think the experience on Number 5 Road is really a good one for people to know about. It has been dubbed the highway to heaven. And
we invite Buddhist temple priests and Hindu mandir pujaris and the mosque people. So many times we get together and ask questions about the religion of each other.
That we've had the privilege to interact with has been especially the Shia community. We have been invited by them to participate in the fast in Ramadan for one day, and then we broke fast with them.
So we had a tsunami relief Dharma service where we invited various religious leaders, and then they would make donation, and then we would give those donations to the direct relief funds.
The Jewish people, perhaps they have the lack of space, they have put the books as well as some other articles of their school in our building. Sometimes when we need parking, we go to the mosque people, and they very happily and gratefully they accept our request.
And then we talked about what we hold in common, the areas that we disagree, and how we can still care for and appreciate each other even though we disagree.
To be near as much as possible, and this will happen with education on this area, on this number 5 road. Hope one day it will happen.
We do some sort of social service to the community, and then we celebrate with sports afterward. We mix up, and we don't just have the Christians playing against the Muslims or the Sikhs against the Buddhists, but we have interfaith teams, and we play a baseball or a softball game together, a soccer game together, and just enjoy being together, and then again have a barbecue together. It would just take a few organizers, some people with the vision, to actually pull off an event like this. And if we would do it not just as a community event, but as an interfaith event, it would be a wonderful witness to the whole community that these different faith groups don't need to fight, don't need to stay apart, don't need to be afraid of each other. That what's happening in other places in the world, here in Richmond, we can show a much better way to actually live together, not just in peace, but in true harmony, and not just in tolerance, but in celebration and enjoying being together, and being grateful for the diversity that God gives us, and that's a good thing.
So, in my opinion, Sikhism is the most tolerant religion of the world, and it is one of the most important and visible religions, and it was founded by our first Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, in India, in Punjab, and that was a multicultural society, multi-religious society, because so many castes, so many religions were prevalent at the advent of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. There were Hinduism, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism. So Sikhism was born in a society which was multicultural and multi-religious, and Sikhism knows how to respect other religions.
Actually, we all get along real good, and once we built a sewer system, we didn't have the sewer, so we all, the church, mandirs, and Sikh temple, Buddhist temple, they all got together. We put our own money to for a sewer system. So we had a meeting here in our Gurdwara, and everyone worked, together. If we have a parking problem, Buddhist temple would use our parking lot, and next door the masjid, when they have a big function, they'd use our parking. When we had a big function, we'd use their parking. We'd get along. We had no problem.
Or in Canada since 1999. We represent a 2,500-year-old Buddhist practice. We have many followers in Vancouver and Richmond, and some people coming from around the world to practice with us. We teach the fundamentals of Buddhism, which is interconnectedness and loving kindness, wisdom, and happiness. We don't make any kind of discernment or we don't say one religion is bad or one religion is good. Our main point is to bring all people to the wisdom of Buddha, and that is through practice and meditation, chanting and recitation meditation. So at our school, we incorporate all the ancient practices, and it's open 24/7. So it's a very deep, interesting, lively, and engaging practice, and it affects people deeply. And our idea is to affect the mind deeply. I think the idea of multicultural is fantastic, but I think we all have a similarity. We all need to be happy, we all need to be calm, and we all have to realize we're interconnected. With multi-religious, since Buddhism cannot really be fully described as a religion as such, it is a practice of the mind, it's also a psychology, it's a history, it's very many other things. So we don't like people to get turned off from Buddhism because they would say, oh, well, you do this, you do that. I mean, Buddhism has 84,000 ways to practice. So that's a deep study. So for us, we invite all people of the community, all religious denominations, all people of any size or shape to come and practice with us. Again, we're open all day long. So we have active engagement with other temples. For example, we do have for some Hindi members that would come here and would like to understand about Buddhism. We have Sikh temple members who come here and are interested and curious about what we do here. So of course we explain it, we tell them that, you know, in fact we're not really a religion, we are sort of a religion, we're also a practice of the mind, we're a practice about the deep psychologies of the mind and how we can free ourselves from the suffering of this mind that creates all things, that be it anger, love, hate, greed. Of course we try and free ourselves. When we remove those taints, we become happier. So what I'm trying to say is that people come here to learn how to do that from any religion. They want to know, because that makes them better Muslims, it makes them better Sikh members, it makes them better Christians. So Buddhism does not make that sort of discernment that you have to be Buddhist to come here, not at all. The teaching is open. We have an open hand, not a closed fist.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله.
This is one mosque run by the BC Muslim Association that runs more than 10 different branches around BC. Very authentic thing in our religion that we are created by God, who created us from a single male and female, Adam and Eve, and then created from them different nations or different peoples and different tribes. And the purpose, Allah says in the Quran, لِتَعَارَفُوا, so that you may know one another. So knowing one another is the purpose of the creation. Multiculturalism is part of Islam. When you look at Muslims themselves, they come from all corners of the world. Every race, every gender, every nation, you find Islam is there. Nice, actually, environment here, and basically we have cooperation with other neighbors here. We do not have a lot of joint programs, but like we had to do something in the like sewer system here in this area, and we were cooperating with our neighbors. We use the parking lot of the church next door, and they use our parking lot. We use theirs on Friday, they use ours on Sunday, and so it is really very good. We have a school here, and in the school many times we had programs with a Zahra mosque also. So we have some of those. I would like to see more of those, but I'm very satisfied with our cooperation with the different religions around the area here. That program, Richmond Doors Open, we had about 400 different people come to visit us. It was from the neighborhood and from other places in Richmond, and also in even the lower mainland. We live here in peace and tranquility. We in our mosque here, we have about 40 different nationalities actually. So you can see it starts with the mosque itself and also with the communities around us who are of different faith and different creeds. And this is something that every human being should be working towards. I do not like for anybody to force their own opinion upon me. Their faith should not be forced upon me. And in Islam, it is illegal, it is haram, we call it haram, that you force your opinion or your religion on other people. So this is a choice that was given to us. This is a responsibility that was given to us by God himself, and it is not the business of anybody to take the right of choosing the religion from anybody. So the only thing is that we must live in peace and tranquility, and our religion really is called Islam, and Islam means peace and tranquility. And so it starts within ourselves and it radiates, it goes out to other nations, to other communities, to other peoples, and also it goes to live peacefully with the environment. This is something in our religion also, because everything is the creation from God. And since it is like that, every creation basically goes according to certain laws of God. And when we submit ourselves as Muslims to God, we feel the affinity with the rest of creation around us. So we see that harmony, we see that peaceful existence with all the creation.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله.
Imam Ismail Al-Khaliq. Al-Zahra Mosque is one of our Shia center in North America, one of our best centers. What is our goal? Our goal to have good discussion between civilization, which it is necessary. I think all the civilizations came from religions. For example, prophets, they had good help for human being for their civilization, and that's why we need to have this connection with all this faith, because there is some people, they are doing bad job on another side with killing people in the name of religion, in the name of faith. And on the other side, we have to show human being, we have to show mankind that that is not right. And the right is we have to love each other, and we have to be with each other, and we have to have good building between our hearts together. Yes, actually we have good connection and good relationship with other centers. For example, with our Christian brothers, Father Tim, he is one of my best friends in this area. And he and his family, they are doing good job for helping people. And this is what I liked in that center, that they are working for human being and for helping people in Africa and otherwhere. And also we have good connection with Sheikh Muhammad Rashid. He is in this center nearby us. And also with Lingyan Shan, when he had good program for human being when people was die in United States and in Baghdad. And also they did good program for prayer for their soul when it was in Jisr al-Kadhimin, and also in United States some tragedy was happened there and there, and they invited us to be in that prayer. And these centers and this mosque and this Buddhism temple and this church, and these are all inviting us for some good programs they have, and also we invite him. For example, once a year we have a Prophet Muhammad Day, which it is a good time for gathering with each other. All of us, we are meeting here in this mosque, and we are discussing with each other about what we can do for this area and for human beings. We are also meeting with other all religion and faiths, and discussing about something we can do for humanity in this city and also in other places.
Day by day, and with each passing moment, strength I find to meet my trials here, trusting in my Father's wise bestowment.
I'm Tim Kitford, pastor at Peace Mennonite Church, which is part of Mennonite Church Canada. Here at Peace Church, we really try to encourage different cultures to express their arts and their culture in different ways here. We try to celebrate that through the different foods that we share together, through the different music that we sing sometimes. We try to have people from different ethnic backgrounds, different even social backgrounds to be up front here, leading us, expressing in prayers and scripture reading and other ways that we are one family brought together by our unity in Jesus, in our following of Jesus. I think that God just shows his wonderful love of diversity in the way that God has created us so differently. All of nature, all of creation, all of humanity has so much diversity, and that's wonderful, and so we should celebrate and express that. Well, we have interacted with different institutions along Number 5 Road. With the Christian institutions, we have done a project called Love Richmond, in which we've just gone around and done random acts of kindness. So we've done these random acts of kindness by painting over graffitied walls, sometimes just going and cleaning up parks. We get together as a number of Christian churches to celebrate and worship, and then we go out and we do these good deeds, hopefully, in our community. Also, Sheikh Imam Al-Khalik has come here, has spoken to us about the Muslim faith and about how the Muslim faith also appreciates other traditions, and also how the Muslim faith wants to reach out and build bridges across with other faiths. And we've really appreciated Imam Al-Khalik, and especially his deep desire to build interfaith community. Imam Sheikh Hijazi from North Vancouver, who also is a part of the Number 5 community there. He has invited us to come to the Azhar Mosque for his daughter's engagement celebration, and invited me personally to speak at that. And then he has also invited me to come downtown to speak at the Martyrdom of Hussein, the celebration or the remembrance, the commemoration of the martyrdom of Hussein on the steps of the art gallery. And so I've had the privilege to come and speak as a member of the Christian community, as a pastor, a leader in the Christian community, to come and bring greetings and express my delight in being invited to participate in this wonderful interfaith community. Those are a few of the ways that we have had the opportunity to build relationships with particularly the Muslim and particularly the Shia community, and we hope for many more in the future. So if the different communities, if the Sikh and the Buddhist and the Muslim and the Christian community could come together and all the faith communities and say, what resources can we bring for our youth, and how can we even work together to help our youth to find constructive ways to use their extra time? Or how about if we take responsibility for King George Park or one of the other public places along Number 5 Road, and we do once or twice a year, we do a cleanup.
I feel that the Richmond is a city which has unique awareness as far as the interfaith activities or environment is concerned. I was fortunate enough to visit these different religious centers in connection with organizing interfaith peace. And I have found that the people who are in the administration and the head of the religious centers, they are very cooperative and they love to see that these kind of activities, peace initiatives and others are being carried in their centers. As far as the environment is concerned, as far as the global progress is concerned, we have to work together, and to work only together when we know each other well, we understand each other, we move from sympathy to empathy. We have to start translating the wonderful ideas and the principles which are in our scriptures. All the scriptures are telling one thing: the peace, the love, service, care each other. But we read it, we talk about these things. There is a need that we should try to translate these wonderful ideas in our action. We should progress as much we can, but at the same time not on the cost of others. That is very important, and that is the message of Hindu religion. Respect for all faiths, respect for all belief systems, and you can go on your own, select your own, without having any kind of enmity with other belief systems and traditions.